Good morning, Peter Bracey here, Foundation Expo Radio YouTube channel, and this morning we are going to talk about the plaque that's shown immediately behind me, and on the big screen the full plaque that you can see. Now there's a very interesting story and a narrative that's going on here, and unlike most of the items that the Facebook page has been responsible for collecting, this didn't actually go into the John Oxley Library. This went into the Brisbane Museum, and there is a very funny story attached to it. Now, in the first instance, a little bit of the background. So in 2011 and 12, I was doing work for the then Lord Mayor, securing the legacy of tennis with the development of the Brisbane Tennis Trail, doing work in relation to Expo 88, which this YouTube channel documents. And one of the driving forces for doing the work to secure the memory of Expo 88 is what had actually happened to the legacy and the memory of the Commonwealth Games. And this fountain, which we shall now just have a look at, which was down at Fortitude Valley, and it was just near O'Brien's Glass, but it was part and parcel of the Light Street depot that the Brisbane City Council used to run, which in the 1970s and early 80s was actually a bus storage facility, and was until such time as the Brisbane City Council sold the land to the Anthony Johns Group, and they then developed the Emporium, a very successful retail and hotel development site. Now, what happened was that when that development occurred, the plaque that we can now see again went into their possession, but the council over a period of time simply forgot about it. With the work that I was doing for the Lord Mayor, I was actively looking for what happened to the coat of arms, which you can see in this particular photograph. And the reason why I thought it was still in existence was because I, like probably everyone else, thought it was actually made of bronze. But it wasn't. It was actually what Colin Blumson, the sculptor of the coat of arms, called cold cured bronze, which is simply fiberglass with a bit of bronze powder sprinkled on it, which then over time goes that bronze greeny colour, which it did, and it looked real, and I thought it was real. Most people thought it was real, but it wasn't. Anyway, so just have a look at these photos. So this was the photos when it was out in the open, after the building that Anthony Johns had been storing it in collapsed during a hailstorm, I understand, around 2006 or thereabouts. And the story in the public domain was that the hailstorm destroyed not only the building but also the sculpture, but that wasn't actually the case. Now, when Lord Mayor Graham Quirk was re-elected in 2016, he allowed me, with an engineer, to go on site where the council had Paradigm stored, and that was at Albion, to have a look at Paradigm and meet with a council appointed engineer to talk about how we could go about re-erecting Paradigm. Now, that is another whole story, very sad story, and this YouTube is not about that. So in the building, I spy with my little eye the sculpture, and you can see from these photos, and more exactly from this sort of blown up one, that there is Paradigm in the background. And I couldn't believe my luck. I mean, 4 years beforehand, I'd secured the plaque, and then we found the sculpture. And the Lord Mayor didn't know it existed. I mean, the council officers had picked it up from Anthony John's group and just put it into storage, and that was the end of that. So, yeah. So it was as much a surprise to the then Lord Mayor Graham Crook as it was to me. Anyway, we had several discussions, and the council budgeting process has got nothing to do with me, and is very much a dark arts. And in that process, with the bid for the Olympic Games coming up, and with the success of the 30th anniversary of Expo 88 freshly in his mind, Lord Mayor Graham Crook decided that we will recast the coat of arms and re-erect it as a tribute to the 1982 Commonwealth Games. And that process is still a bit of a work in progress, because the coat of arms has got up, the description of it has gone up, and you can see here Colin Blumson standing in front of the coat of arms. And it is just, it's a beautiful sculpture. And Colin, in his original work, did a fantastic job. But also credit needs to go to the Rotary Club, as you can see by this photo. They raised a substantial sum of money. But the problem was that when it was designed, the spray nozzles that were used that sprayed the mist on the coat of arms didn't allow for the prevailing winds to account the winds. So in the morning, the winds were from the land out to sea, and in the afternoon they were reversed from the sea into the land. And the roadway going into the city got washed, and the cars likewise, predominantly in the morning and the afternoon, the cars got washed going home. During that 1982 period and during the 1988 period, the Rotary fountain was the predominant welcome to city statement for tourism in the city of Brisbane, and that was the reason why the narrative of it is sitting within the World Expo 88 YouTube channel. So the story then is just to conclude the Plaque story. So I picked it up from the Anthony Johns group. It weighed about 40 or 50 kilos. And then I carried it down. Funny enough, where the car was parked was not too far from where the fountain, where the crest ended up being installed, on the corner of Wickham Terrace and Albert Street. And I walked it down into a meeting because I was on a committee, a Parks Advisory Committee with Sally Ann Atkinson as the chair, and she was also the chair of the Brisbane Museum, and Matthew Burke, who was a great chair of the council parks. And I presented it to them and they couldn't believe it. And we then went through the business at hand in relation to the Parks Committee. I then left the meeting, and what I didn't understand was that when I left the meeting, Matthew looked at the plaque, because it's gone through the wars, as you see. And he said to Sally Ann, I don't think the council wants this. And Sally Ann, in her role as chair of the Brisbane Museum, said, you did great, we'll keep it. And upstairs it went into the CEO's office of the Brisbane Museum, and there it has stayed to this very day, my understanding is. Now, as I said, it's really a great narrative, and the Colin Blumson story is well worth exploring within the playlist, and it is just another great example of the work that the Foundation Expo 88 YouTube channel and the World Expo 88 Facebook page group sort of have done over the years. Thank you and good morning.
Years of collecting dust in storage, Brisbane's coat of arms has been given a new lease of life. The 1982 relic of the Brisbane Commonwealth Games has been recast in bronze and installed in Wickham Park in Spring Hill. The bronze casting took 450 hours to complete and cost more than $320,000.